Hello, is this thing on? Oh, by the way, guys, we do not own the rights to any of this music. Enjoy.
Hey girl,
What is up, boo? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Let me inch on in because this is
Yes.
a real serious and intimate conversation.
Yes, so I'm Laverne Badger
I'm Natalie Hayden.
and we're exposed.
Exposed.
So we are here again.
Again?
Yes, thank you for tuning in. And like we said last week, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
That's right.
And so we want to take some time to kind of go over some tips and just real stuff, some experiences growing up as a child. So we just want to tackle it from an adolescence standpoint. So we just gonna go ahead and start that conversation. And again, well, we definitely want to start off by saying that we are not experts. We're not doctors.
No,
We're
no.
not therapists or counselors. We have done some research to make sure that we're giving accurate information. And we are actually, connected to a lot of people in the community who do this kind of work full time. And so you may be able to see those in future videos. But right now we're just kind of going to go off of the research that we've done and just have a conversation, kind of expose some of the things that happen around sexual
Because
assault.
Laverne and I, if I can be real, Laverne, your kids is grown.
They're very
And
grown.
I mean, not saying that you don't have to worry about them, but there's a different level of concern when you have a young child like myself.
Yep.
And so what Exposed really is about is prevention, education, and awareness.
Yep.
And one way that we can ensure that we don't allow or we are cognizant of what our children are knowledgeable of or what we're knowledgeable of is to, for one, educate ourselves. So Sexual Assault Awareness Month, I feel a preventative measure would be to tackle it from, like you said, an adolescent standpoint.
Right.
So when I think of sexual assault, I'm like, oh my God, I need some tips on how I can make sure and ensure that my daughter,
And how old is Riley?
Riley is 7 and she's turning 8.
Okay.
So,
Have you had the talk?
we have had talks about body parts
Okay.
and about what's appropriate and inappropriate touching. And that is I feel like that is like the foundation of it.
Right, for her level.
For her level right now,
Right.
because you want to meet them where they are.
Right.
Right?
And so, the research that we were looking up, it did say that you start talking about sexual assault when they can understand their body parts. When girls and boys understand, I have a vagina, I have a penis, I have breasts, that I'm a girl, that we're different, so that's the beginning stages. Kudos. So the other things is that I think the stigma around sexual assault is that we don't like talking about it. We don't like talking about the experience. We don't like talking about the prevention. And then we also have judgments on what sexual assault looks like. So we think as our girl daughters, our girl children are the ones who are in most danger, and we forget about our boys.
Yeah.
We forget about the boys. Are we having the same conversations with our boys on bad touches? Because we think if a male is touching a boy, he's more likely not to say anything because of the homosexual content of what that means.
Or even that they're trusted. That this could be like someone that we really trust.
Right. And we still just don't think of our boys. And so I think that the conversation we're going to be having is just being able to, one is teaching the body parts, and letting them know that it's okay to say no. So what does that look like?
Ooh, I have a situation that happened where I think Riley she was about 6 or 7 or turning 7, and we were meeting up with a girlfriend, and initially I'm an extrovert and Riley is somewhat of an introvert. She sort of shrinks in, and I'm the parent just like, girl, say hi and give a hug. But my girlfriend said, don't force her to hug anyone.
Right.
And so that right there is the beginning stages of me allowing my daughter to take ownership and power over her body,
Yep.
herself.
Who's in her personal space.
Who's in her personal space. Personal space is really important.
And I think that is key. So whoever the friend was, she knew what she was talking
Tiffany
about.
Chinmore, I'm shouting you out. Thank you, boo.
Tiffany, you know what you're talking about, because I never thought of it that way, to say, because what do? Go on over there.
Go in there and hug your uncle.
Go hug him. Go give her a kiss. Go, blah blah blah. Oh, and the other thing is that we don't look at females being the assailant.
That's right.
So, we can send our kids over to a female babysitter because we're thinking a female babysitter or family member is not going to do anything. Well, we know that that's not true anymore. And so when we talk about preparing our kids for protecting themselves, we have to say the predator doesn't just look like some bum in the alley. He's not the male boogeyman. He can come in the form of a sheep boogeyman.
That's right. That's right.
And so there's all these things that we need to know to protect ourselves. So saying no to an unwanted hug, maybe kids are getting vibes that we don't necessarily see, so that's a great thing, not to force a kid to show physical touch for a stranger.
That's right.
If they're not comfortable, and even if it's not a stranger, why are they shying away from this person? You may not want to force it. So that's a great tip. Show them what it looks like to do the right thing. It says then when it comes to you, make time for them. So if your child is experiencing something where it was an uncomfortable situation, uncomfortable touch, if they bring it to you, it's how you react to it.
That's right.
So you definitely don't want to say, no, I'm not that person, or
are you sure?
Are you sure that that's what that was? All you do is say to your child or anybody that maybe it was me. Maybe I'm thinking, that maybe it's not what I thought it was.
It's in my head.
It's in my head. And we should never do that. We want to make sure that we stay engaged with our kids or some of those signs.
There are all types of behaviors that will spike up, or they'll tend to withdraw, or they're acting out, or there's like so many things, so many signs, telltale
They're just
signs.
they're fun and playing, and then all of a sudden Uncle Joe
show up,
and then they get all quiet and shy and clingy to mom or dad. Right. So yeah, just pay attention to those things. Now we talk about the safety conversations for teens. Ooh, now let's talk about the media, social media, when it comes, oh my God, the teen, I remember growing up, the talk I got was, you don't let anybody touch you, and if you do, come tell me. Well, what does that mean,
And what type of touch?
What type of touch? But I grew up where it was like, go on and give so-and-so a hug. You were forced to give those hugs. But now, we have social media platforms. It's more conversation. So sexual assault survivors are speaking out more about it. It was back in the day. It was what goes. Even if you end up finding out as a parent, it was what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Very taboo.
Yeah. So what you do is end up protecting not the victim, but you're protecting the perpetrator. And then they may leave you alone, but because they weren't called out on their shit,
they have so many. Usually there's a trail.
Right. So they just went to another kid or something. And so with our teenagers, I think our teenagers, they tend to start looking for love in all the wrong places. And so when they have to understand what good love is and bad love is, and doing things that you don't want to do, and taking ownership, like you said, taking ownership of your body, being able to say no.
Right.
So I don't care what situation. I went to a party, my skirt was a little short. Is that an invitation for somebody to sexually harass or assault me?
That's right.
It's not. It's not. It doesn't give you the permission for another person to impose themselves in my personal space on my personal body.
So as community leaders and organizers and parents and aunties and cousins and so forth, we have to find ways to break away from the social media and talk to our teens about ways that they can potentially end up in a vulnerable situation that they're not prepared to deal with, as well as giving them some tips and tools on how to be safe with themselves and how to not just be a bystander with their peers, right? So those conversations have to be had, and I'm so thankful that there are so many summits going around in the city on healthy and unhealthy relationships, because under that umbrella you have the sexual assault awareness and prevention piece of that.
And there's so many different ways to be violated sexually. So it can just be harassment, and I don't say just as if it's not bad. It is bad. But there's harassment, there's assault, there's abuse, sexual abuse. So there's all these different things where we can be violated. And I think the key is going to be what EXPOSE stands for, is that we need to make sure that we continue to educate ourselves.
That's right.
And when it comes to our young people, I think the earlier the better.
Absolutely.
So based on the tips that we gave you earlier, making sure our boys and girls are aware of what's going on with our bodies, and trusting those instincts. So when you get a bad touch, whether you're an adult or a child, how that makes you feel. And kids need to understand not to ignore that feeling and to tell somebody. So if you're watching this and you're young, you're a teenager, just understand that you have to trust yourself. Your body belongs to you. Nobody has the right to violate that without your permission. And if you're in a situation, there are many places that you can go, and we will make sure that that's tagged in our video as to some places that you can go if that's something that you're experiencing. So we just wanted to make sure that we came during this time to give our EXPOSED spinoff.
That's right.
On sexual assault awareness and do our part. And so we'll be talking about it some more this month from different angles. We just want to make sure that we touch bases on protecting the kiddos.
That's right. The preventative measures is really important. And so not only do you rely on us, but get some education and knowledge yourself. We can never stop learning and becoming fully engaged on the information that's out there on ways that we can not just protect ourselves or the young people that's coming up behind us.
Right. And I think the other thing that was in there is not, for us as parents, not being afraid to share our stories with our children.
That's right.
Of what a bad touch looked like, or if we were in an abusive relationship or was sexually assaulted, that we express that to our children so that they know that when we say something, it can be coming from a place of experience. Not to say that all women have been sexually abused, because that's not necessarily my story.
Or my story.
Right, but I can definitely teach my kids. I've seen the world, and I did wanted to protect my kids, make sure I was protecting my kids from that, because I knew it was happening. And so, but just continue to keep the communication open. Don't be afraid to talk to your kids. Don't be afraid to talk to peers about it. And like I said, EXPOSED is here for you.
That's right.
We bringing it to you 100% all the way. So,
raw.
Right. So, all right, you guys.
We're going to say our deuces, and we hope that you guys can be safe and share some wealth.
Yes.
That's right.
Peace, love.
And happy Wednesday to you.
I know, happy Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay, Wednesday. Is the weather?
Don't start. Don't let it go.
Lord, if you live in Wisconsin,
you love
Mother Nature.
You love her.
Is tripping.
You love her.
I'm gonna need her to take her pill. I'm gonna need menopause to go on through her. I'm gonna need Mother Nature to her bipolar. She doing a whole lot of extra.
It's
need her
okay.
to calm down.
It's okay. Well, we love her.
Cause I broke out the big coat yesterday. There's no way I was supposed to have that coat on yesterday, and that was during the day, and then it turned into degrees. Okay,
She is on a rant right now.
I'm gonna need the weather to change because I'm feeling claustrophobic in winter. I need some heat, some sunshine, and so yeah, we out of here. I'm just railing.
All right, guys. Love you. It's Natalie Hayden.
Laverne Badger.
And this is Exposed.
Exposed.
Peace.
Peace, you guys.